Hi everyone, welcome to the first lecture in this series on um, Yeats, where we're going to be actually delving into one of his pieces of work, and we'll get into the details of it, um, all of that stuff. So nervous about this one because this tends to be a significant piece of work by Yeats. Um, it's called "He Wishes for the Cloths of Heaven." Um, I'll read out the poem first and then we can get into the details. It's just an 8-line poem. Keep that in mind. And in 8 lines, the magic's insane. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, inwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. I will read the poem again. He Wishes for the Cloths of Heaven by William Butler Yeats. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, inwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. Um, it's uh, it's a romantic poem, um, and uh, and so in this one, let's just keep it a bit conversational. So if you see, the poet in the first 4 lines, had I the heavens embroidered cloths, inwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half light. In the first 4 lines, the poet wants to see us the epitome, wants to see us all the epitome and perfection, right? He wants to make us realize that, if he had the most like prized thing, because he's talking about Eden robe, right? Heaven's cloths. And even with color, he's trying to depict them as something. Now, when we talk about the colors, golden and silver, now golden and silver is usually depicted in imagery and stuff like that as something, as a sign of like wealth and money and stuff like that, right? So, because Yeats knows that's how the human brain works, or that's how the world operates, or whatever. So that's why what he's trying to do is he's trying to tell us that if he had something very prized, like gold or stuff like that, like that's the kind of imagery he's trying to draw for these clothes, right? Clothes probably, because back in those days there were also people who would sew gold threads into clothing, gold wires into clothing, all of that stuff. So that's why he's trying to draw that imagery, and then he's saying the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half light, because those colors, they're kind of depicting different shades of the poet's life, right? um, Different positions, aspects, different probably points of time in his life, um, and also focus on the part where, in the first stanza, cloths and light is creating a perfect rhyme for us to just be able to fathom that what the image he's trying to draw, it's something perfect. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, inwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half light. So, even in terms of the structure or rhyme scheme, it's perfect. Um, and and of course there's an element of divinity, right? Because cloths and light, now clothing and light are two very distinct things, but he's building this element of divinity with that perfect rhyme. And then right after that, from line 5 to 8, he's saying, I would spread the cloths under your feet, but I, being poor, have only my dreams. I've spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. Uh, so then in the next 4 lines, he's talking about complete submission. Um, if you see these lines, feet, dreams, feet, dreams. Now, feet and dreams are two very different things, right? Like, dreams is almost seventh sky kind of a thing. Uh, Feet is like your foot. Um, and so that way also he's building a perfect rhyme, and he's saying, I would keep my dreams under your feet. He's not saying I would keep my dreams under your feet. He's saying I would keep that very prized thing under your feet. But right now, and he's built that perfect stanza, and so he's saying now that I will keep my feet. I have kept my dreams under your feet, because I'm very poor. I don't have the capacity to buy these heavens cloths or whatever. So I'm buying I'm not able to buy anything. I have just these dreams that I've kept under your feet. Tread softly. He's not saying that don't tread, because he's like, it's okay if you want to tread, but just tread softly, because you tread on my dreams. And then excuse me. So so of course, I think I already mentioned this, that the concept of heaven's embroidered cloths is associated to worthiness, right? And you see the kind of juxtaposition he's trying to build, that that when we say something worthy, we talk about the head, right? He's not saying I would keep I would use those cloths to cover your head. He's saying I would put it under your feet. We'll get into the details of this. There's a lot to unpack and uncover, I think, in this one. I have hopefully opened up the idea. And with all the lectures, my only thing is that I hope that I'm able to not just impart information, but also propel you guys to be able to think beyond the insights or critical analysis points and everything that I'm sharing. So, excuse me, that part. Excuse me, but I'm nervous, of course. But yeah. So I hope that even with this lecture, because in the last lecture on Yeats, I felt like it became really awkward, and so I tried keeping this one conversational somewhat. So I hope that you guys are able to understand the essence of He wishes for the cloths of heaven. Because He wishes for the cloths of heaven, if one were to really understand it, firstly, the sentiment of that poem is really beautiful. And not just the sentiment of that poem, but and we'll talk about the structure right now. In this one, I only touched a bit upon the structure of the poem, but the structure, if like what I mentioned, like for example, the perfect rhyme scheme in the first stanza, when he's describing this epitome of perfection, he's saying cloths light, cloths light. And then in the second stanza, when he's talking about what he wants to do with that divinity, feed dreams, feed dreams. We'll talk about it in detail. But see, he's not just expressed a thought, he's expressed it so articulately Um, that is insane. We'll get into it later. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. Um, and perhaps press the bell icon to stay updated for whenever a new video drops in. As well as there's a task with regard to whatever we've discussed in the notes. Do that task because that'll help you guys um, open up your mind with regards to the poem. Um, that's about it, I think. And I will give like critiques, comments, for exam answers and stuff like that. And we'll also discuss them, so don't worry about that. That's about it, guys.